Welcome back, everyone.
Hello, dear.
Hello, dear listeners. Welcome to the Total Bear Lonely podcast. My name is Jake.
And my name is Professor Alfred Pennyworth.
Ah,
I don't know. Isn't that the name of Batman's butler?
yes, that is. Delightful,
Okay.
though. Um, yes. How are you?
Yeah, I'm all right.
That's good to
Just
hear.
been doing my thing.
Yeah, just
How
getting
about
along.
yourself?
Oh, yeah, like the stress of an impending holiday is setting in. Um,
How far off now?
less than 2 weeks.
Ooh.
Um, yeah, don't know how that's gonna go, but we'll see. Um, no, it should be fun.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, no, I'm doing well, doing well.
Nice.
Um, yes. Now, last time around, we got cut off by a random network error slash processing error slash I don't know what caused it, but um, unfortunately, Kieran's audio just decided to stop existing.
Right
But
in the middle of my scoop.
yes, you had a scoop. Tell us a bit more about your scoop before we dive into the meat of today's podcast.
Well, not going to say last week's podcast because it was 2 weeks ago, I think. The last episode was called What is Happening at Aussie World? Or What is Going
Mhm.
on at Aussie World? Um,
Yes.
and dear Lord, is there ever things going on at Aussie World? Because Aussie
This.
World are getting their own water park.
Yes.
Now, this was not like news to people because it like had been in the works for a while, and they said that they were wanting to go to council with it and whatnot. But council, Sunshine Coast Council, have approved it. Now it's
Mm.
conditional approval, which means they've got like 105 things they have to do to get full approval. But in principle, Sunshine Coast has gone, yeah, just fix these things up and you got a water park.
Mm. I'm interested by the decision. I think it's a good decision.
Yeah,
I
definitely for them.
yeah, like right climate for it. Um, I'm I'm curious, and I believe we did discuss this last week in the segment of the podcast that never came to be. Um, will it be separately gated?
I believe so.
Yes.
Judging
That.
by all of the concept art, it does appear to be its own sort of gate and entrance. Um,
Mm,
whether or not you can cross between the parks is another thing. Looking at the map imagery, um, it's hard to tell because there's like fencing and stuff that looks like it borders on the path that goes up to Dingo Racer,
yeah.
but I don't know if there is like a fence there. And I'm assuming there will be because then it looks like it's got sort of perimeter road for, I'm assuming, back of house stuff.
Mm,
Um, but yeah, I don't think it is a 2-for-1 kind of sitch.
yeah. Mm. I'd kind of hope that they'd, even if they sell like a more expensive ticket that gives you access to both, and then you have to like scan a wristband or something to go through a gate. I don't know, but
Maybe.
I feel like
This
that's
is
an
all like,
underutilized thing.
this is all sort of, you know, preliminary artwork that's and sort of mapping and whatnot. And so maybe there's some things in, the 105 things they've got to do to fix it to get
Mm,
full approval. I don't know. There might be many little changes.
yeah. I think it's an underutilized idea in Australia, at least, to have if you've got a theme park and a water park, to have them kind of accessible at the same time. Like you've got the kind of hybrid parks of like your adventure worlds and your Gumbaya worlds.
Yeah.
But Dreamworld have stopped doing the crossover to Whitewater World
Yeah.
scenario. And I liked when that was an option.
Well, it reminded me of Wonderland and the beach,
Mm,
because the beach was the name of the water park at Wonderland.
yeah. Yeah, it's I hope that they do go with that option. But honestly, look, I think a water park in general is a fantastic move for them. I think it'll
Yeah.
draw in bigger crowds. It suits the climate perfectly.
Hmm. I think it'll mean more numbers for Aussie World itself.
Absolutely. Yeah. Um, yeah, exciting times. I did get a message from someone who said that they had heard directly from staff members at the park that the reason for the flat ride not opening was council approvals, that they were still
Right.
seeking the necessary, go aheads to open it.
You
But
think they would have
admittedly,
gotten that before even building it, surely?
that does seem out of order to me. I don't know how it works on the Sunshine Coast. I'm sure every local government has their own procedures or whatever, but it does seem a little bit to me like you get the go ahead and then you build.
Yeah. Call me
I don't
old-fashioned.
imagine the I don't imagine the Sunshine Coast Council has their own like amusement park ride commissioning laws. That seems like a
Mm.
state government thing. So I don't see why
I
it
imagine
feels.
you've
Hmm.
I imagine you've got a fair few NIMBYs that have, you know, that would be very pressed about the idea of people having fun in their neighborhood.
I'm sure, but when it's not like Aussie World is new.
No,
Um, so it's
but this water park does stretch further back towards residential areas.
it does, yeah.
So
I
in
did
the, in
wonder.
the site plan imagery, you can see houses, but that was like
Hmm,
a big part of the conditional approval was that there would be like a tree line barrier that would sort of act as like a noise suppressant between
yeah.
the residential area and the park.
People have just got to get over that kind of thing.
Hmm.
I get the need for noise barriers, but like, come on.
But they moved in next to it because that whole area was used to be like a skirmish, like paintball
Yeah,
area.
that can't have been quiet.
No,
So I don't know. Yeah.
but it does look like a cool little water park, with lots of funky slides.
Mm.
Um, yeah, it looks really cool. So
Yeah, I'm excited for it.
I'm assuming that will all probably. I don't imagine this opening anytime before 2028.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. No, I wouldn't say so. A, a whole park. Well, a whole water park. Yeah, yeah. That's a couple of. Um. That's a little while away.
Yeah,
Um. The other thing that I wanted to bring up before I got into the meat of what I wanted to do with today's podcast episode is
sure.
something that was mentioned on our good friends over at the Theme Park Cartel.
Ah, yes.
Because the other thing we were talking about 2 weeks ago was Motor Coaster,
Mhm.
um, and Dreamworld's little teaser,
Yep.
I suppose you could call it, their little Easter egg.
Yep.
And the the lads at the theme park cartel seem to be of the strong opinion that it could be just Dreamworld messing with us.
Huh.
And
Because I did suggest that initially.
yeah, this what they referenced as well, like they do have a point with. Do you remember when Dreamworld did that ad campaign for their $99 annual passes, and
Yeah.
they like teased something big coming, and they like deliberately referenced the giant drop,
Yep.
and Parks ran wild with it, and the enthusiast community ran wild with it of like, oh, what are they announcing? And it was a sale
Yeah.
for annual passes. And they referenced that, and they were like, they're just getting people talking on social media. They're just drumming up some
It's,
hype.
it's working.
Um, oh, 100% it's working. I would say this is a little deliberate. This is a little more intricate. This is a little more like pointed
But
because
also, how hard is it to prompt an AI thing? Hey, can you turn this into a jungle themed queue? Like, and provide a
yeah,
photo and have it tinker with it? Like, it wouldn't be that hard.
this would
So
be a
for
more yeah, I feel like this would be a more deliberate misleading, where the other one felt a little bit like clever marketing play of like, oh, if we make them think that we're going to announce something big, it'll drum up hype for the sale. This one feels like if we make them think that this very specific thing is happening, it'll drum up sales, and that almost feels a little dirtier. So I kind of hope it's not.
I don't think it's about drumming up sales. I purely think that it was purely just to fuck with us. And
Mm,
it's like, because it wasn't like, oh, here's the teaser, and then it turns out that it's about the $99 sale or whatever it was, with the something big is happening. Like, this was the one ad.
mm.
So there's
It
nothing to be sort of deceptive about when they've been upfront about what the offer was in the first place.
well,
This
but
is just something that they've included as an,
that reel was about a sale on annual passes though. That Motor Coaster
yeah,
Easter egg. The because
yeah.
it's
But what I'm
the
saying is that
premise of
this
the
is
reel
different
was
to the something big is coming, where it stretched
yeah.
across several different
What I would say
videos.
is that what they've done here, if this is fake, if this motor coaster bit is fake, um, what they've done here is deliberately put something in that reel with the
Yeah.
intention of getting comments,
Mm.
rewatches, shares, engagement.
So
And and so what I would say is, and it's look, it's I'm not saying they've done anything wrong, absolutely by no stretch. I would say that that toes the line though of like I said with the giant drop one, they vaguely they never lied in that. Something big is coming. They included the giant drop heavily so that people would kind of speculate that it might be something to do with the giant drop. And then it turns
there
out
was,
that something big coming was a big sale.
but there was no lie
Deli-
here either. There was what I called initially a mood board on Greg Young's screen. There was nothing
it
sort of.
does say things like the title of the thing, the document is supposedly like, or like the hero's journey, and there's like a thing that references an August date of something.
I don't
Like
see any kind of dishonesty here. It's like,
it feels, I'm not saying necessarily dishonesty, I'm saying it feels more specific. And
eh,
it would feel, looking back on that giant drop something big is coming campaign, you can look at it as they were deliberately vague
well,
with the
that one I
intention.
find less, like, I find dodgier because it was the something big is coming. Oh, it was just a sale.
I'd almost say I think being deliberately vague to get people talking is probably, I would find less dodgy than hinting at something very specific that's not true.
You're not actually making any promises. That's the thing.
No, but promising that something big is coming and then it turns out it's a big sale instead of a big new ride is also not promising anything that's not coming. It's
I don't
I
have
would
any issue
say
with the fake motor coaster image if that's what it is. To me,
I would
it's
say
like a little Easter egg in the background that might have gotten people talking, and just like, we all, anytime they put out anything like that, it's like there's bound to be things that people read too much into.
I would say to put it into our kind of realm of what we do. I would say it's the difference between me putting out a post on my Discord that says something huge is coming and everyone starts speculating that I'm working on some big video or something like that, and it turns out it's I'm lowering the prices of my membership or something like that, compared to me deliberately posting things about a highly speculated video I've been working on, like little Easter eggs and hints about that, only for it to be not true and just a marketing bit for, again, me lowering the prices of merch or membership.
But that's not what the video was about. That was a background little Easter egg. If you
Yeah,
would
but
drop,
you can't say it was not put there 100% deliberately.
no, I
There's no
think it
way
was
that was
put there deliberately, but that's also not the express purpose of the video.
no, but like
This was just
that's
something in the background.
I would also say that the end credit scene of Iron Man where they said that I want to talk to you about the Avengers initiative was also not the point of Iron Man, but it was still put there very deliberately for a very specific purpose.
I think everyone's reading too much into it.
I think that social media people don't get enough credit for how smart they are. I think that whether or not it's true, this was put there for a reason. That was on that screen for they could have had anything. They could have had the plain Windows wallpaper on that screen,
Totally.
but they chose to have a an AI rendering of Motor Coaster as a jungle themed ride. Whether they chose to do that because that's what they're planning and they're hinting at it, or they chose to do it to deliberately mislead people and to get people talking, either way, it's a conscious decision.
So,
So what I'm saying is I'm not 100% convinced that it's fake because that feels like a more deliberate action to mislead than what they've done previously. They've been
but
willing
even if they were
previously
doing
to
it to
do
mislead, it's I don't think it's as big a deal as people are making it.
no, I don't think it's a huge deal, and I also don't think it's necessarily wrong if they're misleading. I'm just saying I don't think that's something that they would want to do necessarily, mainly because I think that if you go too specific with something like that, the reason that giant drop big announcement bit kind of worked is it got people talking, but when it didn't turn out to be what people expected, you couldn't really fault them. Like something big happened, they discounted prices pretty heavily. That it's just not the big thing that people were expecting. Whereas this one hints in a very specific direction. So if that doesn't happen, we can now look back at that reel and say they did that on purpose to lie to us to get us to talk about it.
And
Which
so
is
what? Like, fuck. More
yeah,
power to them. I
I
don't think it's so much about a lie. Ooh, how nefarious. Like,
no, I don't think it's
it got the
nefarious, but
theme park,
also
it got us theme park nerds talking, you know? It's,
it, it did yeah. And you're right to an extent, but in a world where I get um sworn at and insulted for having a clickbait thumbnail, I kind of do also feel a little bit like, all right, well, if I have to be honest as someone who literally doesn't matter in the theme park scene, why why shouldn't I also point at them and say, okay, but they lied just to get comments? I
then
think
that's their crop to reap. Like
mm,
I don't think
I
it's as
think
big a deal as people are making out.
no, I do think it's deliberate though, and I think that
Totally.
at the end of the day, say
If
what you
it's
want
not true,
about
then totally it is.
whoever you agree with and whoever you side with about whether it's true, whether it's not, or whether it's right or whether it's wrong, it
Mm,
was a conscious decision, which means that there is something to talk about right now. Because
sure.
either we've got to talk about how Dreamworld's social media team are literally trolling us, or
And I think that's funny.
or we've got to talk about
That's
how
why I don't think it's a big deal. I think they're literally just trolling us. And I think that's fucking hilarious.
yeah, I think it's yeah, but I'm not 100%. I think my point. I think we got too much into like the whether it's morally good or whatever, which is not really the point. I think it's. I think I'm not 100% convinced that it's fake yet purely because of the more specific, deliberate nature of this decision compared to previous times that they've kind of trolled. Um, wherein, yeah, like I said,
I
I
will
think that
100% eat my words if it's real, but I do think because of the low effort to like
and like
just put it into AI and go, oh yeah, give me a jungle themed version of this photo.
oh yeah, but Dreamworld has been using AI all over their socials in every single post for the
Yeah,
last few months.
I
The other
personally
thing,
think it's just a funny trolling.
the other thing that is has me not quite so convinced is the fact that there's still no demolition on Motor Coaster.
Mm.
If none of that hardware is sticking around, why is it still there?
Oh, I keep saying it's a financial year thing.
Mm, but the trains are still
I
there.
purely reckon that their social media team let's make these nerds foam at the fucking mouth.
All of the electrical equipment's still there. Everything's still there. What do
Yeah.
you I and if it does turn out that they're just waiting around for the end of financial year to demolish this, then I actually do have a bone to pick with Dreamworld because your park is hideous because of the number of things that you've just left to rot after they become no longer of use.
Yeah. But that's been
So,
an ongoing issue with them.
yeah. But I thought that it was an ongoing issue of past managements of Dreamworld. I will say. I thought, look, Blue Lagoon being the exception, I feel like that's become a little bit of a gray area because it now falls outside of that zoning
Hmm.
thing that they've got going on with the plans to build the stores and the hotels and everything. So I feel like Blue Lagoon's kind of just in limbo, not just within Dreamworld, but like as to what the purpose of that land is.
Mm.
Um, but I feel like this is the first time that's happened under this new management
The
because
thing is,
before because
sorry,
like
continue.
You had Eureka Mountain Mine Ride being the most famous example. That was around for like a decade, with just abandoned.
Totally. Yeah.
You had the towers of the Skylink chairlift. You had, I know
But this
the
was also old Dream World.
yes, and it's something that old Dreamworld is reflected on very negatively for. I think
Totally.
that's something that they got like a lot of shit for was
Oh
just the
yeah. For
amount
the
of times
longest
that
time, everything needed a fucking lick of paint.
yeah, and the amount of times that they closed a ride and then it stood there for in the most extreme example a fucking decade.
Yeah. But
Um
I honestly think that they closed it a little bit earlier than they intended to, and it was probably some kind of how
that's my
much
question.
more money was it worth spending the money on extra parts to keep this open for like 3 months before we start demoing it.
Yeah, that's my other question here though. Is if you're right and it's just they can't afford to demolish it until tax returns come in or whatever, then why didn't they keep operating it?
That's what I was saying. I think that they closed it earlier than they intended to because there was some kind of maintenance issue that they couldn't keep it open, and they
Hmm.
didn't want to spend any extra money on something that they would end up demolishing.
But then that also feels like if it's something mechanical, then because they announced it a bit in advance.
That it was closing.
Yeah.
Hmm, who
So
knows?
unless it was something like, like it's not gonna break down now, but we can't afford the replacement parts. But then that also feels like if it's non-urgent, then run those parts till they break. Like I don't something doesn't add up with the timeline, I think, to me, in terms of if you're not going to demolish it now, why close it now? If you're, you know, it, closing it at the beginning of February and then not demolishing it until the second half of the year, to me, the only explanation that makes sense there is if it shit itself, it broke.
Hmm.
Um, which just doesn't seem like that was what was the case because the announcement came quite early. They gave us a few weeks of ride it for the last time. Um, I don't doubt that Motor Coaster had maintenance issues out the wazoo, probably things that they couldn't afford to continue fixing. But yeah, uh, something about the timelines not adding up, and the fact that it's still standing there makes me believe that at least partially the hardware is staying. Whether, even if it's just the station, we've seen retrofitted stations before.
Sure.
Um, but yeah,
But the thing is, like, I don't think that AI version of the Motor Coaster Station is in any way legit because they have paid legitimate concept artists for all of Rivertown in the past. So why would they be relying on just feeding something to ChatGPT now?
here's my next question: are we sure it's AI?
I looks it to me.
I don't think we ever got a high enough resolution look at that little rendering on because it's like barely a quarter of Greg's screen in a shot where it's over Greg's shoulder and the screen is not in focus. You, I don't think
Just
you can
think we're
see that.
reading too much into it. Like,
Yeah, true, but isn't that what we're here to do?
yeah, but like, how many episodes have we talked about this now?
Yeah, I mean, if you're sick of it, we'll move on. But we're we both make our this is kind of what we do. um
I know, but like, it's must be make for boring listening to talk about the same topic for like 3 episodes running.
yeah, I just feel like it's kind of the big talk of the town in the Australian amusement industry at the moment. um
I just feel like there's, unless we get given more information, there's not a whole lot
mm,
more to say about it.
yeah, I just don't think the only reason I brought it up is that I heard the boys at the theme park cartels theory that it was all fake and that there was nothing to it.
Yeah,
And,
I'd be inclined to agree, but
mm,
we have differing opinions on these things, and that's
in their
fine.
defense, they make a good point. At the same time, I think the timeline doesn't quite add up, and I feel like there's something to be said about the fact that the coast is still standing in pretty much 100% of its glory, if that's the right word. Um, so yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I did have an idea for today's episode.
Yes.
Um, so there is a subreddit called r slash am I the asshole, and
I am
I
familiar
thought,
with the concept.
Yeah, I thought we'd go through. Do you want to go through some of the top posts of all time, or do you want to go through some of the top posts just recently and
Is
just and
this theme
debate?
park related, or is this just generally
I couldn't find very many good ones that were theme park related, so
okay?
I thought we'd just discuss whether these people are the assholes.
All right, sure.
Um, do you want to go top of all time or top of recently?
Let's go top of recently, because if it was all time, I feel like a lot of people might have heard them already.
All right, let's go top of this week. Okay. All right. Let's read this one. This one is titled, Am I the asshole for asking a woman at work to stop being so weird about taking a caramel? This is the full story. I
Okay.
like to have snacks in my office and I enjoy having something for people to take when they come in for a visit. I have a container of chocolate caramel thins open for anyone to take. The problem is that when many of the other women in my office take one, they do this whole song and dance. Oh, I shouldn't. Oh, it's so bad. Oh, but I just love chocolate. Oh, it's so naughty. Stuff like this just annoys the crap out of me. Take the
Yeah.
candy or don't, but don't
Yeah.
force me to participate in whatever weird, self deprecating thing you're doing, especially calling it naughty like you're scolding a child. I always just smile blankly and they will look at me like I'm supposed to give them permission. I finally had it yesterday when one of the women stood in my doorway and pointed to was like, "Oh, I love those caramels. They're so good, but I shouldn't. You're so bad for having these." I said, "Can you stop doing that? It's making me uncomfortable." She pretended not to know what I was talking about. I said, "Are you okay? You come in here and you act like you need my permission to eat a piece of candy. You keep calling it naughty like you're a little kid. It's super weird behavior and makes me feel uncomfortable, so please stop." She gave me a weird look and said she was just being silly and never mind. She left. I found out later on that she said I ripped her head off and warned one of the other women who's always doing it that, "Oh, I'm so bad crap," to avoid getting candy from me unless she wants to be scolded. I'm not going to stop
God.
having candy out because there are some people who can do it without the whole song and dance. But am I really the asshole for just asking her to stop doing that? Oh, I'm so bad. Ooh, crap.
Don't think is the asshole, but like in a workplace, you got to be a bit more diplomatic than with shit like that.
Mm, I agree, but I
Well,
do think
I
also
agree that that whole song and dance is stupid as fuck.
it's
It's just
so
like take it or
annoying.
don't. But
Yeah, if it's
you start, people need like, like sugarcoating, so to speak.
mm. Caramel coating.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
yes, it's fucking annoying, and it's like I can't. So if I'm in any workplace where there's a lunchroom and I've brought lunch in, I
Mm.
can't stand it when people start asking me questions about what it is I brought in. Oh, that looks good. Oh, oh, I don't like that. I was like, shut the fuck up. This is my lunch, not yours. I don't want to make small talk about my lunch. Just let me eat it.
Okay. I mean, I work in a smaller workplace than you, and we do sometimes enjoy talking about like what we cooked,
Oh,
but
I
I don't think it's
hate it.
a really
Yeah, it's just like
okay.
let me eat my fucking lunch and don't talk to
I
me
can
about it or
understand.
pass judgment on it or oh I don't know oh that looks delicious oh that's oh no I can't eat that kind of thing it's the same thing.
I can understand
So
the whole "I can't eat that" or "I don't like that." It's like okay, that, but it's not your fucking lunch. So
but also like
I
I
don't
don't
really
want to
see
have
it.
to answer questions about what it is I brought in for lunch.
Yeah, fair
Just
enough,
let
I
me fucking
guess.
eat it.
Yeah, I guess it's
And I get
I
it
don't
as
know.
people just making small talk. I get it.
We're a small,
But
tight knit
pick
workplace.
another
Yeah.
subject.
Yeah.
It's the
Okay.
same conversation over and over.
Yeah, that does happen. I feel like
Yeah.
the water cooler talk always gets very repetitive, especially
Yeah.
if it's someone that you literally only I guess where I'm lucky is that most of the people in my direct office I also hang out with outside of work because we're all kind of very tight knit.
Maybe
So the
it's one of
small
my
talk.
neurodivergent qualities, but I can't stand small talk for the sake of small talk. Hate it.
Mm, so yeah, so in our direct office because we're tight knit, it doesn't like the small talk doesn't dry up, so we don't really get to that point. But there are people in like within my workplace that you do get that kind of water cooler talk, and it always usually is the same few topics of like
Oh my god, yeah.
the weather, the food, the fucking the drive into work, whatever. And it gets very repetitive. I think from from my perspective on this specific post, I'm sure that this person has embellished the way that they said what they said. It did seem like from what they've posted that they were very polite about the hey, this is really weird behavior.
Mm.
Um but yeah, I
I
do think
totally
it's
get where that person's coming from,
yeah, you've
but
also got to like you've got to maintain those professional relationships and kind of
totally.
snapping over something so small is
And whether or
probably
not he snapped, whether or not he just politely expressed his opinion,
mm,
it's the annoying dance that we have to do when working with coworkers in corporate environments. It's
yeah.
sometimes it's just fucking annoying.
You just got to put up with people sometimes.
Exactly. If they're not
Yeah.
causing harm, then you got pick your battles.
Mm, very true. Do we think are they the asshole?
Uh, is that to insinuate that there is a binary of assholery, like one person is the asshole or the other person is?
No, there can be in betweens. There can be a you're not the asshole, but you do need to like fix your behavior or something like that.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not the asshole, but probably you went about it in the not optimal format.
Yeah. I would
And
agree.
also the other person's being a bit of a childish twat.
Yeah, I would say there's levels of asshole on both sides. No one is the asshole, but it's
Yeah.
like she needs
Agreed.
to grow up, and you need to just learn to
Chill.
put put up with it and chill a
Yeah.
bit. Yeah. All right. I like
Nice.
this. I like
Yeah.
this. Um. Okay. Next one on recent trending is another work related one.
Okay.
Am I the asshole for snatching things back from my colleague?
Mm, potentially.
Oh, I, 36 female, have a colleague, George, 58 male. Weird that you know each other's exact ages. Let's go on. Who has a nasty habit of taking things out of people's hands without asking files, memos, communal snacks, etc. I don't believe it's malicious because he does it to everyone, and George is spacey. We lovingly call him Goldfish George. He's been here forever and is only a few years away from retirement. His behavior causes some office strife, but people mostly ignore it. Except for me, I absolutely hate having things snatched out of my hands. I have no other issue with George. He and I have carpooled together on several occasions and we get along great. Right up until I open a pack of gum and he grabs the stick before I've even had one. I've discussed it with George more than once. Dude, just ask. I promise I'll give you some if I can. Think of it this way, if I hand you my wallet, that's fine, but if you snatch my wallet out of my bag, that's stealing. Every time we have this conversation, George swears he understands and that he'll stop, but then he does it again. Sometimes it's not so bad. If we're in the break room and he grabs a handful of popcorn I happen to be holding, whatever. But last week he stole a pen from literally between my fingers while I was filling out a form because he had to write down his very important idea. It left a giant pen mark on my form and I had to get a new one. I decided I'd had enough and that the next time he grabbed something without asking, I'd simply snatch it back. Then he'd finally understand how annoying it is. Long story short, my plan didn't go well. Yesterday, I was in the break room eating a big bag of communal chips. George came in and yanked them from me as expected. I immediately snatched the bag back and said, Ask, please, George, we've talked about this. Then I held the bag out to him. He huffed and grabbed it so aggressively it split wide open. It was only a quarter full, but we had to clean up the mess, and George was not pleased. He told me I made him feel like a child. Maybe my here's a taste of your own medicine plan was childish. Am I the asshole?
I think yeah. I don't know what his deal is and why he does that, but it's pretty dickish.
It is, yeah.
I think that way that person sounds like that they have gone about it in the correct way and it's fallen on deaf ears.
Mm,
Um, so I get that they sort of have done it out of frustration, but hey, has it? Maybe it'll finally sink in. Um,
maybe.
so yeah, there
I
is
think
there is an element of assholery from what they did, but I think his repeated behavior and like with continued like saying, "Hey, this isn't okay," and him still doing it, that is also assholery.
Oh, 100%. And I feel like maybe it'll take that situation where, as George says, he feels like you're making him feel like a child.
Some people
Maybe
need
it'll
to be
take
shamed
that.
out of their behavior.
Yeah, it'll take that to finally be like, right, well, I won't do that again. But
Yeah,
yeah,
if you made
I
me feel
think
like a child, maybe don't act childish.
I think in that situation, yeah, like in the specific situation with the bag of chips, yeah, maybe you're a bit of an asshole, but I don't think that at the end of the day, spilling a bunch
But
of
that's
chips and
like
making someone
snatching
feel
something out of someone's hand is fucking rude.
it is really rude, and the scenario as well
While someone
shows
was
like
literally riding, that's such dickish behavior.
that shows a complete lack of respect. Like
Yeah,
what
100%.
I have to write down is more important, so much more important than what you're doing
Yeah,
that I can't even just go and find a pen of my own. In an office, I
totally.
assume as well. There's got to be fucking pens everywhere. So like what are you like it either shows just well, probably a mix of both that you're like a complete dick but also really impulsive and like just no kind of self-control over your actions.
Mm,
Just like first pen I see, I've got to snatch it and I don't give a shit where it comes from.
yeah, that's
Um,
completely dickish behavior.
yeah.
Like,
No, I'd say not the arsehole. I'd say maybe like within the tiny scope of that specific situation, yeah, like it didn't go great, and I'm sure that it maybe could have been done better, but I'm sure that maybe if it made George feel like a child, maybe George will grow the fuck up.
yeah, exactly.
Um, yeah, no, not the asshole. Nice.
Yeah.
We're passing judgment on people.
But also, we are hearing it from one person's side. So,
Yeah, that's an important aspect of these is that you're like I said with that first one as well, like it seemed like they'd addressed it so politely, but I feel like also since it's that person posting it, it's like, yeah, I have this feeling maybe you said it slightly less elegantly and politely than that. Um, but that's the grain of salt that you always have to take these things with.
totally.
All right, let's get one that's not from a workplace. Um, am I the asshole for lying to my family about how much money I have? Okay, for context, I'm 19, female, and grew up in an extremely poor family with my mum, aunt, and grandma. We're a very small family, and although things have moderately improved, everyone is still lower class. I went to uni at 17 and started receiving student loans. My aunt started asking me for loans regularly. While I lived with my mum, I paid around $400 a month for rent and helped out with things like car insurance. I had to move out at 18 due to constant arguing and strains on my mental health, and since then, she has also occasionally been asking for loans. After I moved out, I got a part time minimum wage job to help with the rent and my car. And while I'm not great at saving, I've been trying to put away small amounts each month with the hopes of saving for a deposit on a house. Holy shit, doing that at minimum wage? You go. Um, At one point, my mum confessed to me she had maxed out her credit cards, and I ended up emptying my savings, both helping her and giving my aunt loans of $200 plus at a time, some of which I never saw back. After this, I told them I wouldn't be able to help them so much anymore. Except recently, they ended up back in the same situation. I've replenished a good amount of my savings, but after a long talk with my grandma, who has also been giving them loans, she urged me to keep my savings private. So for the last 6 months, I've still given them smaller amounts, telling them it's all I can afford. Last week, my aunt was helping me with something on my laptop, and I left open a statement from my savings account. She blew up at me over lying, and when my mum found out, she did the same, saying if I can afford things like my tattoos, the club, and other non essentials, then I should be able to afford helping my family out. Neither of them have talked to me for over a week, saying that I've turned my back on the family so they can do the same. I feel so guilty, but I'm tired of helping them out of a situation that they keep returning to. Am I supposed to never enjoy myself because they can't get out of debt? Am I just being selfish here? I think there's an obvious answer to that one.
100%.
Your family
Absolutely
can
not
go
the asshole.
fuck themselves.
Fuck
Like,
off. Learn to
what?
manage money better.
Yeah. Seriously, what the she's
If
19.
your child is helping out with car insurance when they're living with you, that is ludicrous.
She's fucking 19. She's
Yeah.
working a part-time minimum wage job, and she's fucking fantastic at managing money, I must say, because to be working a part-time minimum wage job and managing to find something out of that to put away to save for a deposit on a house. That's remarkably good saving skills because I'm also judging by the spelling of the word mom and stuff that this is in America, so minimum wage is
Yeah, where
not very
property is
high.
a bit more affordable as well.
Yes, but it's like it's still minimum wage is not spectacularly high over there.
No.
So, but things like they've maxed out their credit cards. Like, yeah, I get that some of those bills and stuff, the things like the rent and that they're essentials, and you've got to pay those to live. But if this 19-year-old girl has saved enough money to have savings aside and also has enough left over to get herself some tattoos, go to the club, do whatever she wants to do, fuck yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely not the asshole.
No, not the asshole in the
Learn
slightest.
to manage your own money better
Yep.
and don't expect handouts from your children.
Expecting handouts from your children, like, good God.
Not only handouts from your children, but from your parents, as like from your mother, like a grandmother, no less.
Yeah. That's that's all that's like really, really toxic that
And then
not
having
only
the audacity to act hurt because that person's not told you the truth, and how you dare, like, it's entitled to your child's money. No,
yeah.
fuck off.
Yeah, no, fuck off. And also, I don't think at any point in that situation did she ever actually lie to them. Because I would say savings are also an essential. Like
Yeah,
having money aside for an emergency or for, even just to make sure that further down the line you can afford nicer things. That's
exactly. Or if
essential.
emergency savings is a thing.
Needing to
And
have money aside
to
for
have the audacity to be offended that someone is lying to you, it's like, it's not your money. You're not entitled to that money.
no, you're not entitled to that money at
That
all.
person was
And
helping you out of the goodness of their heart.
yeah. And they at I would say at no point lied to you. Just because they might have, a few grand sitting away in a savings account doesn't mean that money is something that they need to make accessible. They might not even be making it accessible to themselves. It's
Mm.
there in case they need it. You don't Yeah,
And
no.
to insinuate that by that them doing that is somehow wrong is manipulative behavior to the highest degree.
Yeah, no, go and fuck yourself.
Yeah, not the asshole.
Yeah. Not the asshole at all. if you are by some miracle listening to this podcast, you're incredible for managing to save and manage your money so well on a part-time
Yeah.
minimum wage job. Good job. Um, that one's very similar to the last one. So no. What could you mean by that? Um, okay. This one's weird. All right. Am I the asshole for eating meat from our deep freezer? Um,
Okay.
Weird one. My husband's friend stored a whole deer in our deep freezer. By this, I mean he has different cuts of meat adding up to a whole deer. He has ribs, chops, steak, ground meat, and the like. He didn't have room in his house, so he's using our deep freezer. All the meat is nicely vacuum sealed and labeled. Every time he comes to our house, which is once a month or so, I ask him if he wants to take some meat home with him, and he says, no, maybe next time. He's been saying this for 2 years. So we've had the meat in
Mm,
our freezer for two, going on 3 years. A few times I've taken some of the meat out myself and made myself a meal out of it. My husband says I shouldn't do that, but I argue it's basically our meat now. I'd rather eat it now than let it go bad. I'm not going to remind our friend that he has meat in our freezer anymore because that meat is now mine. Am I the asshole for eating the meat in our freezer that my husband's friend stored in there?
no, if you've had plenty of opportunity to collect it, then you're not the asshole.
No, I'd agree. But does meat keep for that long in a
I
freezer?
don't think it does.
I don't think this person is the asshole. I'm more concerned about their health.
Yeah, and eating wild game.
Mm, yeah, no, I don't. Well, I guess some people do farm deer, but if you're farming deer, should have your own deep freezer. What?
I'd be worried about parasites.
Yeah, I'd be worried about a lot of things actually. Yeah. Ugh. Yeah, don't eat that.
No.
No. Ooh.
Yeah,
Um.
there's an ick factor. Like I'd be
Yeah.
more willing to say I'm throwing your meat out before I would start eating that.
Yeah, I
And
agree.
surely, I get that there are a lot of people who have different ick factors to me, and um, I
Yeah,
don't want to pass judgment on people who do hunt wild game or whatever, but it's not for
I'd
me.
probably send a message and
Um,
be like, "You need to take it, or I'm going to throw it out."
yeah, totally,
Mm,
100%.
that's really like I
Because
grew up
it's
on a
yeah.
farm. I'm used to like the whole, literally an animal or more worth of frozen meat.
Oh, that's not the issue, right? To me,
Yeah.
it's the wild game issue as well.
Yeah. I
Like
don't
it'd be
think
the
that
same.
mm,
Yeah.
it's not something that you should probably be doing ever. I'd say even like catching your own fish and eating it has its own risks,
Mm.
and obviously there's a lot more meat on a deer than a fish.
This is
It's
also, where we're coming from places of privilege where we have the ability to just go to the shop and buy food and whatever, but it's
Yeah, very very true. I suppose there are probably people out there who rely on that. But also, if it's been sitting there for 2 or 3 years and he hasn't even taken so
that's
much as
that's that's taking the
doing it,
piss on his part.
yeah, like clearly you don't need it.
Yeah, not the asshole.
No, not the asshole at all. I want to find they do have
I'd be charging rent for his fucking deer meat.
uh, yeah,
Two
no,
years, my goodness.
I would say definitely send a message and be like, if you don't take this meat by this date, I'm gonna throw it out.
Yeah.
Um All right. I've just noticed that the one that a lot of them, I guess, once they get enough like comments and votes and stuff, they get marked as either asshole or not asshole.
Yep.
And a lot of these ones have been very clearly marked as not asshole. So I'm going to pick one that's either not marked or marked as
Hmm.
asshole, so that
Okay.
we can get a bit of a different different perspective. Okay. Am I the asshole for giving away gifts because they had the wrong name? My husband, 30, and I, 30, have a 3-year-old son together. My in laws have a tradition where they take their dad's middle name as their first name and they go by their middle name. For example, my husband's name is West Allen and he goes by Allen, and our son is Alan Dean and he would go by Dean. Weird, but okay. I was
Okay.
happy to be part of the tradition since I knew it meant a lot to my husband and in laws. His middle name came from my grandpa. I was happy, but also felt like his name wasn't his own. We didn't tell anyone until my son was born, although that his legal name is still Alan Dean and he would go by AD. I can't express how happy I am to call him AD, and luckily, most people were happy to, except one. Before he was born, my mum was so excited she got custom made everything with the name Dean on it. I accepted them not knowing until later that we would be calling him AD. My mum was clearly upset when we told her, but I assured her that I would still use the items since it was so last minute. I did not realize at the time that this would be a continued issue with my mum. She called him Dean whenever he was near her, and in turn had our distanced family who communicated through her call him Dean as well. After a few months of this, I finally asked why she won't call him AD, and she said it was because she had a resident when she worked at a nursing home named AD, and he was mean and ugly to her, and she can only think of that old man when she hears the name. She hadn't worked in that nursing home in years and only worked for 3 years there. I told her that was crazy, but she refused to budge. Years later, and not only does she still call him Dean, but she still gets custom things with his name. And even though I made it clear that he is AD, she still gets him shirts and things with Dean on them. I told her to her face that he won't wear them at my house, and she just gets upset and says just use them as play clothes if I hate them so much. I ended up throwing all the items in a pile in his closet. Last week I was cleaning out his closet and finally decided to toss out all the items. I put it all together and posted on a mom Facebook group if anyone had a little Dean that would want the items. Someone in the group was friends with my mum and apparently asked her about the items. My mum was furious and messaged me asking why I was getting rid of all her stuff. I told her that I have explained plenty of times that I wasn't going to use this stuff, and she refused to keep it, so I was going to give it to someone that would. She argued with me for a long time, and eventually gave up replying. Later, I got a call from my grandpa saying that I upset her and I should be grateful for the custom items. I told her my mother in law got him custom items too, and they have AD on them without issue. I said it's not that I'm not grateful, it's that she is selfish. He tried to convince me to apologize to her, and I refused. My sister and one of my brothers also agreed with mum, but I tell them all the same thing.
Absolutely not the asshole.
Yeah, I
Absolutely not.
absolutely
Your
not. I
parent
love
is
that.
essentially dead naming your child.
That's true. Yes, the deliberately disrespecting the
It's not your
wishes.
child either. My God.
Yeah, the deliberately. I'm actually kind of disappointed here because I deliberately chose this one because it was marked as asshole. So I'm now reading through the comments to find why people.
Absolutely not the asshole. Absolutely not.
No, 100%
I
not.
and also what is with like parents inserting themselves into their grandchildren's lives and deciding how things should be? No,
Mm, yeah, it's very off. And
absolutely
getting
not.
so upset and getting so upset that like
Yeah, not about you.
yeah, very much making it about themselves. That's icky. Um, yeah. Also,
These things rile me up, I tell you, man.
let's let's see if we can find. one that's not so like potentially triggering with like workplaces and parent stuff. Um,
I've gotten so angry at all of these. My God, I swear I'm not that angry normally.
I that's why I thought this would be fun because I thought it would trigger a nice debate. But honestly, I'm just getting like angry at all these people as well.
Yep, 100%.
Um, okay, this one's about house. Let's see. Yeah, okay. Let's go with this one. Am I the asshole for not wanting to upgrade my house? I bought my house 11 years ago when I was married to my ex-husband. My ex had owned a house before that went into foreclosure, and he wasn't keen on buying another house. His credit was terrible, so he couldn't even get on the loan and didn't help with the down payment. So I ended up with it in the divorce, and during COVID made it my sanctuary, my major accomplishment that made me hold my head high. I don't like that you phrased that like that, but okay. I learned to tile. I bought a sink home from Mexico and installed it myself. I covered an ugly cinder block wall with tongue and groove pine. Uh, the things I've the things I've accomplished myself and chipped away at make me so proud of myself. Okay, I take it back, and now I see why she's so proud of it.
Yeah.
I thought she was just proud that she got the house in the divorce. Um, I got remarried to a wonderful man who I have known for 10 years and has always been such a cheerleader for me when my now ex-husband never seemed to show his thrill for the upgrades. So, my house was built in 1905 and she's beautiful. Many upgrades, but also an old clawfoot tub, some old brass faucets with beautiful detail, a very old toilet with a wooded tank, push button flush at the bottom of the tank, and a copper water holder on the inside. Many wonderful turn of the century nuggets of wonder. My new husband, however, is a contractor. He prefers new and more functional, as he says. I like to spend the modest amount of extra money I have on a sauna, fixing the deck, making a bigger garden. He wants to quote unquote upgrade these old novelties. I think these old fixtures are what keep the era of the home and help it hold its value. Our three daughters share the bathroom with the clawfoot, and he is always harping on me. I finally blew up and yelled about fucking first world problems and how grossed out I am that if we have to totally redo a bathroom because our girls can't figure out how to use a shower curtain, then it is us that have failed as parents if they're so lazy or, dare I say, stupid. What should I do? Give in to the upgrades? Mind you, the house is mostly upgraded just with the old charm, or hold my ground because I actually think it adds value to keep these things, or maybe it doesn't keep the value. Help me and thanks.
Um, don't think you're the asshole for not wanting to upgrade. It's not his house. It's not his thing. His house to is not his decision on what to do with it.
Hmm.
I do think that you might have been an asshole in potentially calling your daughters stupid.
Yeah, I think that I'm sure that there's probably more context there. Like this has been an ongoing conversation, so I'm sure they've had maybe less heated debates
Yeah,
about it in the past. But I do think maybe you're a bit of an asshole about the way you blew up.
yeah, totally.
Um,
But I don't think you're an asshole for not wanting to upgrade
yeah,
what
I don't
sounds like a
agree.
charming home that you've made for yourself.
At the end of the day, it's her house. So like,
Yeah, totally.
if she likes the early 20th century charm, then keep the early 20th century charm.
Yeah,
I'm sure plenty of people live in far less functional and less beautiful houses. So, and some people don't live in houses at all. So, like,
yeah,
there's nothing wrong with wanting to keep a little bit of, to sacrifice a little bit of modern luxury for a little bit of older charm. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. I think that's fantastic, actually.
yeah.
Um,
Too
yeah.
there's I've seen too many like renovation videos where they've taken the complete charm out of a place
Mm.
by adding sort of luxury mod cons.
I love going into, there's a bunch of houses around where I live that are like really old turn of the 20th century kind of places, and I always find them so charming, and even though they have their problems, like usually they're really hard to heat, they're really, you know, they've got all these problems. They're all so charming, and so I do
Yeah,
respect the desire to keep that in your
yeah.
home.
And also, houses look so ugly when you've tried to retrofit modern things into a very
Mm,
architecturally designed, period specific building.
absolutely. And it seems like she's found quite a balance as well. Like she did say that she's she's made it more functional, like got rid of the stuff that she thought was ugly, got rid of stuff that she wanted to improve on.
I do wonder about her putting down tongue and groove siding when she didn't sounds it sounds like she didn't put a vapor barrier down on the cinder block wall.
True. True. I send us the blueprints of your renovations that we can go. Um
Is it up to fire code?
uh, okay. This one's funnier. Let's go with a funny one.
Sure.
Am I the asshole for laughing while my husband was howling in pain after being bitten by our puppy? My
Where
husband
was he
and I
bitten?
are in My husband and I are in our 30s, have been married 5 years, and have two dogs currently. When he got our older dog shortly before we got married, we had discussed it several times, but the decision to actually go and get her had been unilaterally his. Because of this, and also the fact that he's owned dogs growing up while I haven't, I expected him to train her properly, including teaching her how to behave appropriately. Apart from teaching her the most basic commands like sit, he spent all his time just playing with her and reinforcing the exact opposite behavior of what would be appropriate for a dog. This was a sore point during the first 2 years of our marriage. She would make, she would poop in the apartment due to no consistency with taking her out of control barking, bad separation anxiety, etc. I took over her training because it just wasn't happening otherwise. One of the things he
Hmm.
would do is play rough with her, like holding her down and trying to bite her ears, things that were playful to him, but teaching her to be physically reactive. Let me clarify here that he wasn't actually hurting her, more annoying her, but it would make her
Hmm.
react by trying to bite. I started to tell him off, and the behavior went down, but he has still continued to do it. She has also learned that he's playing with her, and it's not an acceptable way to react to anyone other than him. My main concern was her trying to bite guests, other dogs, or kids the same way. Now, our older dog is a Maltese, and her full grown weight is a whopping 10 pounds. Uh, earlier this year, we
So
got a
four and a
golden
half
doodle.
kilos.
Yes. Earlier this year, we got a golden doodle puppy. She's not full grown yet, but considerably bigger than the Maltese. As with our older dog, husband started playing rough with the puppy as well. She's not as reactive as the Maltese, but she's playful and loves to bite as is. Noticing this behavior, I warned my husband multiple times not to encourage her biting so it doesn't turn into a behavioral or safety issue later on, because she's a bigger dog and will easily be 50 pounds. Or can you translate that? That's
50
what?
pounds would be, so a pound is 0.45 kilos. So 10 pounds is four and a half. So times that by five,
25,
20,
30, 20 to 25 kilos?
22 and a half, wouldn't it?
22 and a half kilos. There you go. 22 and a half kilos full grown. I've also disciplined the puppy multiple times for nipping at me, and she seems to understand that this specific human doesn't like it and lays off me, but doesn't understand it's not acceptable with others either. He has continued to do it when he thinks I'm not watching, and probably when I'm not home. The other night, he was playing with the puppy, and she must have gotten really excited because she bit him pretty hard. She didn't break skin, but my husband was howling with pain. My usual reaction to something like this would be concern, but since there wasn't any blood and he had repeatedly ignored my warnings of this happening, I couldn't help myself and I just started laughing. It was the most satisfying "I told you so" moment. Husband got mad and said he feels hurt that I was laughing at him instead of disciplining the puppy. I told him you reap what you sow. So am I the asshole?
I don't think so. But also, I'm missing some vital information. Where exactly was he bitten?
Yeah, howling in pain from a bite that didn't break skin.
Break skin? Sounds like someone's bunging it
Did he get bitten
on the junk.
That's all I'm thinking is he's
Yeah.
howling in pain, but it didn't break skin. I've been bitten by dogs. I don't think that I would be howling in pain unless either it was a bad enough bite to break my
Break
skin or it
skin,
was somewhere
or if it was
very
in a very
sensitive.
sensitive area.
Yeah. I'm gonna say if he was bitten there, maybe it's a little bit of an asshole move to laugh at him.
I think it like we've all laughed at people falling down and like, funniest home video kind of Schadenfreude up. But
Yeah.
there's yeah. Let's just say he got bitten on the junk or on the balls or something, and God knows why. That's another story for another time. I think making sure that yeah, it sounds like he has been um
He's been
encouraging this
egging,
behavior.
yeah, he's been egging these dogs on.
Yeah.
So I definitely agree that he has reaped what he's sown.
Yeah.
Like you've got to teach dogs you've got to teach dogs that they can't bite.
Yeah.
Well, and I mean, also, I think that's a safety thing as well. And I think that's where
Totally.
I actually think this husband is a bit of an asshole. Is
Yeah.
that while he
And
might
she's had that
usually,
conversation with him several times.
yeah, and he might usually be okay with like with being bitten in a playful way. Obviously, this time this dog has bitten him a bit harder than they usually would, but while you might be okay with it, if you teach the dog that it's okay to bite in a playful way, then when you have guests or yeah, even God forbid kids come over,
Yeah, exactly.
then that dog's going to think that that's okay and it's not. Um
And if the dog is capable of biting hard enough to make you howl in pain, what's it going to do to a kid?
exactly. Yeah, someone brings their kids over, next thing you know, you've got a really serious situation on your hands. And yeah.
Yeah.
Um look, I've been around lots of dogs. I what my boy is lying here on the bed right next to me right now while I'm here recording. Um, but yeah, and you know some of them like to play bite and wrestle and that sort of thing. But yeah, you really I think it is a stupid thing to do to
Mm,
encourage that behavior in a young puppy because they'll just bite everyone.
yeah.
If you encourage a dog to bite, you know, it's fun. We all like to wrestle with them, but yeah, you're just going to create
Yeah.
a dangerous dog.
And the dog doesn't understand that it's,
Yeah,
not
yeah,
okay.
it's not the dog's fault. No, I would definitely say this person is definitely not the asshole.
Yeah.
Um, reap what they sow. I would
Mm,
say. Hmm,
yeah. Not the asshole.
not the asshole. Would you like more, or should we pivot back to theme park stuff?
I think I'm a bit assholed out.
Too many
What other
assholes.
things? Yeah.
Actually, I think that lent heavily not the
Keeping the
asshole.
jokes to myself, keeping the jokes to myself.
Um, what is going on in the world of theme parks at the moment? I believe a lot of the
Phantom
American parks.
Spire,
What was that?
or
Sorry.
Project Purple as it's known.
Oh yeah, we haven't talked about that at all. Yeah, that's
No.
gone vertical, and I think what's not being
And the stall is pretty much finished.
yeah, what's not being spoken about kind of at all, or like not seen it addressed, is that it's pretty much confirmed to be exactly what the teaser
Concept art was, yeah.
concept art said. Like
I
that
don't
was always
understand why
kind
they
of
haven't come out with an announcement.
no. I guess that doesn't necessarily surprise me. We haven't really seen this new Six Flags do a big major project yet. So I guess we we don't really know what their behavior around announcements is going to be like yet. But I'm kind of surprised how few people in the coaster community have kind of started talking about this.
Really?
Yeah, because
Because I've been seeing it all come up on my dash, like Hollywood Studios.
oh, I mean, people are covering the construction, but I just haven't
Oh,
seen
right.
anyone kind of addressing what the finished product is gonna be. Because, like, we kind of know,
Yeah.
right? And I just feel like everyone's kind of maybe it's because they're still a little bit underwhelmed by it. I don't know.
I also think that the people who are covering the construction are doing it with the blessing of the park, and they don't want to piss off the park because they're getting all of this content out of the construction updates.
Mm, yeah, yeah. Stay on their good side. Yeah,
Mm.
I get what you mean. But yeah, that. What do you think of that as a replacement for King Dakar?
I'm not fond of shuttle coasters in general,
Hmm.
so I'm not overly thrilled by it.
No.
Um, yeah, like
What
I'm
bugs
sure it'll
me,
be fun, but I'm much more
yeah.
of a full circuit coaster person.
What bugs me the most about it, I think, is probably going to be the capacity.
Mm.
Because I think that, I I don't know whether it's a confirmed thing, but I think it was pitched out there that it would have a turntable station so that it could have two trains.
Well, it
But
does
King,
seem like there is like a long, not turntable, but like a shifting track kind of
yeah,
situation, which I think everyone has assumed is going to be just for the maintenance shed, but I think that it might be a dual loading kind of situation.
it could be a dual loading station that shifts into position. Yeah. I'm Yeah, I still think like what are you going to get out of that? Let's say that they're because the Mark Extreme Spinner cars are quite big for they have to be quite big so that they can spin without colliding with each other.
Mm.
And you only get four riders on each of them. So even if it had quite long trains, I can't imagine it having a capacity of more than like 16 per train, maybe.
Okay.
Probably, I'd probably say even, yeah, like 16. I can't imagine it having a fifth car, maybe.
I don't know. It's
Maybe
great
there is.
adventure. You'd think that I would hope that there would be five.
Okay, well, let's say there is. Let's be ambitious. Five,
20 people per
20
train.
people per train, but you can only have one out on the course at a time and probably a maximum of two in total. Because if you had the turntable station,
Well, that's what I,
that,
yeah. So I think it
that's
will
a
be a
significant.
case of they
That's
load one
mm,
while the other is shooting up the spire, and then once that comes back into the station, hopefully the other one will have finished loading. Then they switch track and send the other one off, and then unload the second.
that I would say would still be a significant capacity downgrade from King Dakar,
Oh yeah,
which I'm I'm thinking is a mistake. I think
yeah.
no matter what you were going to do to replace King Dakar, I get the desire to replace it with something else record breaking. I get the desire to replace it with something else big.
And flashy.
Um,
Yep.
yeah, I feel like the thing that Six Flags have kind of forgotten here is that King Dakar was also fairly efficient.
Yeah.
Um, and when you've got something that big and flashy, it's going to draw a big line.
Yep.
And I worry that this is maybe I, I think it will come back to making it a shuttle coaster is the big mistake here.
Totally. Couldn't
Because
agree more.
yeah, yeah, even my own feelings about shuttle coasters versus full circuit coasters aside, it it cripples your operations because you can only ever have one train in the circuit. and ready to go at a time. You have no
Yeah,
block zone ability, so yeah,
agreed.
it yeah.
What else is happening in theme park news?
Although I will say one last thing on that, I'm very
Yes.
excited though for the world's first upside down launch.
Oh, that does look cool.
I'm very eager to find out what that will feel like.
A launch
Um,
in a stall. That's
yes,
wild.
that is very wild. I thought Voltron's beyond vertical launch was wild enough. An upside down launch, that's going to be insane. I can't wait. And
Um,
presumably a spinning up stall upside down launch. That's kind of
yeah,
insane now that I think about it.
like the spinning cars, I think will make it more exciting.
I'm
Um,
I have no doubt it'll be a thrilling ride.
totally.
Yeah, just not quite sure it's the right choice.
Like it's definitely impressive in scale.
Mm.
Um, oh, that's something we hadn't talked about. They've finally taken down the Batman Legacy signage from Studio Showcase.
Yes. And my naive optimist side is like, oh, could that mean they're going to finally do something with that building?
I think it's quite the opposite.
I think it's just that they want us to forget that that building exists.
Yep, because they want to
Mm,
use it for storage.
yeah. I, I hate that.
Yeah,
The fact that that used to be like the Maverick show and yeah.
I just
So
don't
much
think they have enough staff to make regular shows like that a thing.
No, but it has so much potential as a show building for something
Oh,
else.
100%.
It's yeah, I don't know what could possibly compel you not to want to make use of it other than just storage.
Yeah.
Because it's also just it's a big building.
Oh, it's
So,
huge. Yeah.
yeah, so like surely you want to put it to good use. It's taking up so much of your park. Why wouldn't you want to do something good with it? I don't know. Even just the studio showcase, look, it's not my style of attraction, but it very much fits the
I mean, it
movie
brought the
world
movie
well.
making into movie world.
Yeah, it gives you some authenticity. It gives you something that you can't really see anywhere else. I I don't I think that there was real merit in keeping something similar to that around, and that's something that you can do on fairly if you've got the deals with the studios, you could do that on a relatively low budget, I'd say actually.
Mm,
If you're just loaning in some stuff from a studio you're already working with, then how much could it really cost?
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's I don't like that it does seem like they're going that's potentially just being swept under the rug and being made to look less visible. Um, I'd like to see them put it to good use, a dark ride or something like that.
I don't see them creating a brand new dark ride. I would more likely see them reusing the show building for a show.
Mm.
Um,
The
but
staffing
yeah,
is
it's
the big issue with shows, though, as you
yeah.
mentioned, because that's a whole cast of characters, and then add on all of your ushers and all of that sort of stuff. Um, but maybe like some sort of walkthrough experience or showcase or exhibition or whatever. Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot that I expect Movie World to really do in the next little while. I think it's consolidation time, um, which I don't think that they. have got themselves into a very good position to consolidate. They've still got Doomsday Destroyers area sitting there doing absolutely nothing.
Yeah, it's the ghost town half of the park.
Mm. How long do you think it'll be before something happens to that?
Don't know. Again, if it does happen, I think it's the new financial year sitch.
Yeah, you'd hope so, but I feel like that's when did Doomsday get removed? That's quite a while ago now.
It's all sort of blurred together. I don't even remember
I
dates and
feel like
timing.
maybe I'm mixing this up, but I feel like Doomsday got removed when Wizard of Oz was still getting built. Doomsday Destroyer was removed. No, okay. It was a little after. Removed in early 2025. Closed in 2024 though.
Okay.
So it's been removed for more than a year now. I'm losing my voice. I'm sorry. I think we um
All good. We might have to wrap it up soon, so give you a
we
rest.
we may have to. But I will, yeah, so it's been removed from its location for more than a year now. So, you know, it's it is a little alarming that still nothing has happened. The queue is still there. Even like the ride fencing and signage is still there.
It's so weird. Like, it's such a dead spot in the park.
Mm. It needs something and quickly because it's a fairly highly trafficked area of the park with everyone going out towards Wild West Falls. So it's pretty visible. And of course the exit to Scooby Doo as well is like right there. Mm. Was I think it was you that had the idea of the WB water tower stylized drop tower?
I heard a rumor about that. I think it, yeah, could be a cool idea to have sort of a drop tower thing, but who knows?
I don't necessarily think a drop tower because Batwing Space Shot exists,
Yeah.
but I think I don't I don't hate the idea of having the WB water tower.
Mm.
I feel like that's a nice piece of iconography that
Well, who owns Animaniacs now?
oh god, probably still Warner Brothers. I don't imagine they've sold it.
Get the Animaniacs in there. My goodness.
The only problem I can see with that is that when was the last episode of Animaniacs released?
Oh, they did a series of Animaniacs not too long ago.
Oh, they did? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm seeing it on the Wikipedia now. A revival in between 2020 and 2023.
Mm.
Hmm. Let me look. Revival. There we go. Um, third and final season was released in 2023. Was it like cancelled? Um, duh, production. Um, yeah, no, I can't see like that it was cancelled because of bad reception or anything. It looks like they just stopped after season three. Um, oh, okay, but they did have a controversy.
What was
They
the controversy?
it was they made a joke that got tangled up in the Johnny Depp Amber Heard situation. Um, the show. Okay, I'll quote directly from Wikipedia because I don't want to misrepresent this joke. The show's first episode has attracted controversy for a background joke. During the Reboot It song sequence, two posters are shown referencing the nursery rhyme and internet meme Johnny Johnny Yes Papa, uh, referencing it
I'm not
by
familiar with
using
that nursery rhyme.
it's a modern meme. You should be glad you don't know what it is.
Okay, cool.
It references it in terms of movie titles Johnny 2 Telling Lies and Johnny the Beginning, the former of which, as in Johnny 2 Telling Lies, features Johnny Depp in the title role. The series had aired a few weeks after Depp lost in his lawsuit against The Sun related to publications of allegations of abusive treatment of his ex wife Amber Heard, which led to Warner Brothers asking Depp to resign from the Fantastic Beasts franchise and replacing him with Mads Mikkelsen. People voiced their outrage on social media about the unfortunate juxtaposition of Depp's image and the Telling Lies subtitle, calling it an unfair jab at the allegations, leading to petitions and social media campaigns to boycott Animaniacs. According to Paulson, the series had been animated before the legal battle among Depp, Heard, and the Sun had begun, and the reference was only poking fun at the nursery rhyme. Which probably does stand up. I don't imagine, since it aired a few weeks later, they could have possibly made that joke in time to animate it properly.
Mm.
I mean, maybe they did, but yeah, if the series aired a few weeks after the result of the lawsuit, I don't imagine that they had time to fully conceptualize, animate, and make that joke. But so it seems like people are
Yeah.
getting outraged over an unfortunate coincidence.
Mm.
But yeah, that's the only thing that I can see that would potentially be a. It doesn't seem like it was cancelled because of any like
Bad.
failure or anything like
Yeah.
that. It was. It just didn't continue. So
Mm.
maybe yeah, get them in there. Pinky in the brain.
Yeah. What else has been happening? Lost Continent's being demolished
Oh
at Islands of Adventure.
yeah, I'm sad about that.
So that's been on the cards for a while. Now it's finally happening.
Yeah. Did we talk about the Six Flags? We did. We did. We talked about the Six Flags. Six Flags selling a bunch of their parks.
Yes. Yes, we did.
God, what else is happening? Let's look at the RCDB new for 2026 page and see what is opened recently. I believe we talked about Barracuda Strike at SeaWorld San Antonio, the new B&M.
I don't think we did.
The only thing I would say about it, first of all, it looks like it's got quite a big layout for its for a family invert size. But also, I've seen a couple of POVs of it, and it looks like the B&M rattle continues to plague.
Oh yeah, I think we did talk about this.
Yeah, it
Oh no, we
continues.
were talking about something else. It was another B&M. I don't think it was Barracuda Strike. I think it was
Either way, that's
was it Tormentor?
well, Tormenta hasn't opened yet. I think I was saying that because of the POV I'd seen on Barracuda Strike, that I was worried about Tormenta
Right.
because
Okay.
it seems like they've still not been able to resolve that issue.
Okay.
Bluey the Ride opened.
Where is this at?
Alton Towers.
What kind of ride is Bluey the Ride again?
It is a little family coaster themed to the Grannies episode of Bluey.
Okay.
It is called Bluey the Ride. Here come the Grannies.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
Yeah. It is now open. The world's first, I believe,
I'm just looking at the
bluey
POV
themed
now.
bluey themed ride. I think it's. I don't think it's. Oh no, it is a custom layout. Yeah.
Oh yeah, oh,
Looks
this
like a
looks
lot.
fun and cute and fun.
Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen a few things of the queue, and apparently the queue is pretty cute. Um,
I like the sort of the ducking under the laundry line and everything. It's a very
yeah,
short layout, but
yeah.
it's a kids
And
coaster, so what do you want?
Alton Towers. That is one thing I will say about the, well, actually, I do have a lot of things to say about how I don't really like Alton Towers as much as I thought I would, but um, one thing that they don't seem to be able to do is come up with an idea for a family coaster that's a bit more substantial than just a like a little roller skater or whatever.
Yeah.
All of their big coasters are fantastic, like custom layouts, great ideas behind them, great
Mm.
themes, and then their
I just
family
think it could have
coasters.
done with another sort of out and back to make it a bit more
Yeah,
substantial.
their family coasters just need to be a bit more creative. Um,
Well, also it actually did look a lot more complex than what everyone thought it would be from the concept. Not even the concept art, but like the I think it was the schematics that originally
yeah,
came out.
yeah. It looks alright for what it is, and I'm glad to see
Mm,
Bluey getting a bit of theme park representation.
totally.
I'm just looking through the 2026 page on RCDB to see what has been marked as officially operating. Um, the Galactic coasters are open at Legoland in Florida and California,
That did
and
look cool from
it
what I
looks
saw of the videos.
really, yeah, looks really cool.
Like,
I
well
I
done to
love
them.
that.
Something immersive theming, giving something sort of customization of like their little, imagery for the photos of the car that they can design.
The
Like,
part
really
that
nifty
excites me the
stuff.
most about those is that they're also built by ART Engineering.
Mm,
They're a manufacturer that I am so excited about. I think they're going to do great things.
yeah.
Um, they've worked on a few like big projects here and there before. I believe they were the contractor on like Cannibal at Lagoon and stuff. But
Okay.
mostly what they've been famous for is little family coasters. I rode my first one from them at Fantasiana in Austria, and it
Hmm.
was an adorable little family coaster. So smooth, so good. I absolutely loved it to bits. And I'm so excited to see them doing slightly bigger things. I think ART are going to do great things.
Yeah. Those little Lego coasters look really cool.
Yeah, they look
Just
adorable.
immersively themed, like sort of like baby Space Mountain kind of thing with Lego theming.
Mm. Yeah, that definitely get like it. I think the way I saw someone put it was like Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind for kids.
Or like Lego Space Fantasy, the ride.
Yeah. Yeah. It looks like
Or
the
Lego Comet Express without the cosmic horror.
oh, that ride. I need to go back to South Korea just to ride that ride again. That's such a
I
weird
want to go
coaster.
back so I can experience Atlantis Adventure.
Yeah, I heard. Yeah, you missed that, didn't you?
Yeah.
It's it's really good. I feel like it. Yeah, it's a bizarre one as well. The theming there is really weird. Um, it looks like the Naruto themed coaster in France is open
Oh, okay.
at
Didn't know that was a
Parks.
thing.
Yeah, Park Spirou is getting well is now has a Zamperla family launch coaster themed to Naruto.
Tim
Um,
Sims, don't know him.
the oh, do you remember Minifigure Speedway from Legoland Windsor, the dueling family coasters there?
I don't recall it, but sure.
Okay, so Legoland Windsor in the UK got a dueling family coaster, and it got quite
Okay.
good reviews. They've cloned it. Well, actually, I don't know if it's an exact clone, but they've cloned it at Legoland Billund, so the original one in Denmark. And it's now open. Um,
Parkesbury doesn't seem like a particularly large park.
no, but I think it's growing. I think it's
Okay.
getting getting much bigger. Um, it's one that I'd probably. It's also got the RES rollerball, I believe. One of the only RES rollerballs in the world,
Okay.
which they're a weird, very weird ride. Um. Oh, apparently Lotte World's new coaster is open,
Oh, really?
but there's no details about it. It says
Busan
Zamperla. Hang on, let's go to Lotte World's website.
or like Seoul?
Seoul.
Oh, I didn't know they were getting a new coaster.
Both of
Where
the
are they putting
parks are
it?
getting. Let's find out. Lotte World Adventure.
I'm assuming it's in
Um,
the outdoor section.
it'd have to be surely. Go to no, not Busan. Go to
Well, that would
Hongdae.
explain the construction zone that was there when we were there.
Yes, I imagine it would. Well, both of the parks are getting a new coaster. Um, Busan's being much bigger than Seoul's.
Hmm.
Here we go. I'm on the webpage now. Yeah, as of April 3rd, 3 new attractions have opened. Um, Visitor guide. Can I get
Stone
a
Express, Arcana Ride, and EOS Tower.
Stone Express is the coaster. It's built by Zamperla, apparently. Um, oh, I see. Okay, so it's down in that like okay, so in the outdoor section, up in the corner where the like the opposite corner from Atlantis Adventure. So you've got
Stone Express, okay.
you've got like that kind of God, how would I just like that
Yeah,
European
yeah. So this is where the
area
construction
around
zone was.
yeah, so like the you've
Tucked
got Comet
behind Comet
Express.
Express.
Yeah, behind Comet Express, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
On the indoor section side of the island, but on the Comet Express side, not the Atlantis Adventure side.
yeah.
Yeah. So
Um, EOS Tower just looks like what do you call it? Loopy Lighthouse.
right. So it's like a
Arcana
tower of
Ride. I don't even know what that is. It just looks like a weird like logs that go around in an ellipse.
hmm. Judging by the photos, it looks like Stone Express is just like a slightly extended Zamperla family coaster.
Yeah.
Looks nicely themed though,
Hmm.
which I'd expect from Lotte World.
Yeah. It looks like they've built this sort of whole imitation Mario kind of land.
Yeah, it does give that vibe, doesn't it? That very bright, colorful, I'd almost say over the top kind of stylization. The very like sharp
Hmm.
shapes. Um, well, looking at it, I think that's the only things that have opened so far this year of note. Because everything else is unknown in name, so I don't think that there'd be anything else here that's operating. Yeah, nothing of note.
Hmm.
Well, you're all up to date with your theme park news now. You're welcome.
Yes. Um,
Um, before I completely lose my voice, Kieran, where can they find you if they're hearing your voice for the first time?
You can find me on YouTube at Ejector Bear Time, where you can see my roller coaster adventures. You can also find me at Ejector Bear Time Sidetracked for all of my non-roller coaster related side quest adventures. You can also find me on Blue Sky at ejectorbeartime.bsky.social. How about yourself, Jake?
You can find me at Maloney's Coasters on YouTube if you're a content creator who would like some copyright free footage of various roller coasters to use in your own projects. You can find me at Maloney's Coasters off ride footage on YouTube. You can also find me on Blue Sky at maloney'scoasters.bsky.social and on Instagram at Maloney's_coasters.
Nice.
Yes,
Until next time,
this has
you've been
been
listening to an absolute bunch
of
of
total
total baloney.
baloney. What a bunch.
What a bunch.
What
What
a
a frackin' bunch.
what
What
a
a bunch.
motherfucking
What a bunch.
bunch.